Today is September 2nd, and once again, here is our Buoy 10 update. So, how to explain what happened today? We probably did over 40 miles in the boat, round trip. Today was the first day that it was open out in the ocean, and so we were very excited to head out there. Now, there were actually very few boats that went out there. The conditions were forecasted to be kind of marginal. It actually wasn't all that bad out there. That north wind was making things choppy for sure. If you're thinking about going out there in the ocean tomorrow, I would be very careful. It looks like it's supposed to get even windier and even a larger swell tomorrow, as per the forecast. We ended up getting off the ocean before the north wind really started blowing. And here's what happened out there. So one of my guide buddies, went south, one of them went straight out, and I went way north. I went way up past the condos. Guys that I was talking to were off of Seaside, Red Can Line, Green Can Line. We covered a lot of ground. Between myself and two other boats that I was keeping in contact with the entire day, between three of us, between about 6:30 in the morning and about 9:30 in the morning, three boats, we had that many bites, not a bite between our three boats. It was actually kind of scary, a little bit eerie. Now, I'm not trying to be, doomsday, there's no run coming or anything like that, but the ocean was lifeless. We had decent water temperature, but there was very little bait. We saw, I didn't see one net out there. Through the radio chatter, the best report I heard from all the different boats out there was that one boat had one hatchery. So we know that there's a ton of fish up further north, up off of Willapa and Westport. So we know there's a lot of coho up in those areas. Maybe they're just finally making their way down. I know we've had some pretty different, I shouldn't say bad, but pretty different ocean conditions than what we've seen in years past. This year, I can't remember seeing this many jellyfish out in the ocean in the last few years as what we had this year. And so maybe that played a part in it. I don't know. I'm sure a biologist would know way more than me. So at that point, after the three boats, us three were out there for that long and saw hardly anything, didn't get a single bite, we said, that's it, we're done, let's head back in the river. And by that point in time, we were already behind the eight ball. It sounded like the boats that actually stayed inside the river did better this morning, right near the high slack. There were actually a number of fish caught, so that's great. Even on the first part of the outgo, there were a number of fish caught. Excellent, that's great to hear. Us, between yesterday and today, I killed a total of 2 hatchery coho. We released a bunch of wilds. We released one today that was awesome. It was high teens, beautiful looking wild coho, but a lot of wilds, a handful of Chinook, just not many hatchery coho. And that's when the regulations are and Tongue Point isn't fishing all that well, that's kind of the hand that you're dealt. Today I didn't mark too many fish, and again, once that red tide started rolling in, that pretty much killed that bite that we were somewhat on around midday at the low slack first part of the income. So we stayed on the Washington side, stay out of the wind as best we could. It sounded like the Oregon side fish maybe a little bit better, but on the Washington side there weren't many boats, so maybe a few more fish would have been caught if there were a few more boats over there. We were getting about a bite or two per pass for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then the red tide rolled in, done. I know that a few guys a little bit later on today found a fish or two up near Tongue, but man, I still think we're a day or two out. So tomorrow's the last day for the ocean. If you're planning on going out there, I would be very careful. Make sure you're very comfortable out there and have plenty of proper safety equipment. Do your due diligence. Make the best decision for you and your crew and your vessel. I think tomorrow may be my last day down here, and then I'll just head back upriver. So if it is, what I'll do is, I'll give you one more Buoy 10 update tomorrow, but then I still am going to do an update on how to transition from fishing down here and then fishing upriver, be it from, we're going to be focused in on doing the whole 360 flasher and spinner and super bait stuff with the fish stuffed into the super bait. So even if tomorrow is my last day, we'll do an update tomorrow, but then we'll also do another update after that about how to transition from here on upriver, and then I'll probably do one more after that just a full recap of what happened during the season, what I saw that was different, what was better, what was maybe a little bit worse, and kind of just cover everything that happened over the last 35 days. I absolutely love fishing down here. Usually I am disappointed and sad when I leave. That's because there's such a great bite going on. This year, boy, these last few days have been pretty tough, and maybe it's just because I've been down here for, well, we moved into the hotel room here in mid-June, and I've been here off and on since then, and moved in full-time since middle of July. Maybe I'm just wore out, but and maybe in years past, all these fish that we've been catching have kept my spirits up, but these last couple of days have really worn on me between the weather, the wind, releasing fish, and just lack of fish coming to the boat that we can keep and take home for the customers. I think I'm ready to head back upriver, head home, and fish up out of my own backyard. So we'll see though. Maybe tomorrow everything will change. That's how fast this fishery can change. Tomorrow I could go out there, limit out the boat like that, and be ecstatic. Now I did hear a couple reports from a few boats today that actually did limit out on coho. I don't know if that meant 2 fish or 12 fish, but I do know a few boats that did well for coho. It's just you got to find these little micro bites, these little micropods. It happens that fast and then they're gone. So you just need to know how to stay on top of them and trust your electronics. So with that, I'm going to start working on some stuff here, get ready for tomorrow. We'll see you guys at least one more day, and maybe, hopefully, a few more because the bite got that much better. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow and maybe a couple more days after. Later.